The reopening of garden centres has been a welcome release to the many frustrated gardeners locked down because of coronavirus. We delight at the transformation which nature can bring, whether grown from packet seeds or possibly Haskins bought, with other garden centres being available. But for many, the loss of this year's Chelsea Flower Show has been almost unbearable. Landscape designers, gardeners and nurserymen have been working hard for this annual event. However, the pandemic has seen many new and spectacular varieties kept back from public display, except that is for the Royal Horticultural Society's implementation of a virtual garden show for all to view this week. There was no royal walkabout this year, but Margaret and I were privileged to watch Monday's Members' Day on our computers at home as a special gift from our family. Through the wonders of IT, experts and celebrity gardeners took us behind the scenes of their homes and nursery gardens, showing us what we might have seen, touched and smelt. Theirs was no manicured display set up in London for just 5 days. Instead, we were guided, instructed and inspired amidst the backdrop of their very own workspace, gardens and greenhouses, complete with objects which under different circumstances would have been thrown in a skip or airbrushed away post-filming. I found this au naturel approach reassuring as I contemplated our own garden and last year's attempt at a makeover, guided only by books. The promises found on pot plant labels, plus asking around. There was no Alan Titchmarsh, Rich Brothers or Charlie Dimnock. Just me, a cup of tea and Margaret's unfolding plan. We got there in the end, but a wooden pallet left over from the earlier building of our conservatory posed a challenge: use or lose. Pondering over numerous cups of tea, eventually saw it transform from a humble carrier of stacked bricks to a wall garden full of fragrant herbs and immortalising a lost loved one, Rosemary, Margaret's sister. What have you cast to one side in your garden or house awaiting redesign? In the Christian life, the power of transformation comes from one source. For the Apostle Paul says, the message of the cross, the gospel, is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved it is the power of God. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 18. And in speaking of Jesus, Paul declares that salvation is found in no one else, for there is no other name under heaven by which we must be saved. Acts chapter 4 verse 12. But the evidence of the transformation is seen in the way we increasingly reflect the likeness and glory of Christ. And so, as we approach Pentecost, let us thank God for the change we have experienced and the divine repurposing which continues throughout our lives.